the road with the eye on winning a conference championship, hoping to go back-to-back in the American, but they have to deal with the all-time receptions leader in the FBS, Justin Hardy in East Carolina, as he and Shane Carden suit up in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium for the final time as Pirates. But Terrence Plummer, leading the nation's 4th-ranked defense, will try to shut down this prolific pass-catch duo. George O'Leary trying to win a championship on the road in Greenville, North Carolina tonight. This is the American Conference on ESPN, and potentially a conference championship can be won tonight by the road team. UCF coming in with an 8-3 record, 6-1 in conference play, taking on the Pirates of East Carolina and the great pass-catch duo of Shane Carden and Justin Hardy. This is the way the standings look in the American as we head into the final weekend of college football's regular season. Memphis has already clinched a share of the American. They're in the clubhouse. UCF can join them with a victory against East Carolina tonight, but the Pirates have been really tough at home. And East Carolina had sights set on making a New Year's Six Bowl. Instead, tonight they will try to play spoiler. Glad to have you with us, Reese Davis, alongside my partners and friends, Jesse Palmer and David Pollack. And tonight we have strength versus strength, a prolific offense against a stout defense.
We'll start with East Carolina. They are an explosive offense, guys. They are loaded at the skill positions, and it starts with quarterback Shane Carden. Makes good decisions. He's accurate. He's in line to be named Conference Player of the Year. He's throwing to a very deep and talented wide receiver group led by Justin Hardy, who's got more catches than anybody in FBS history. And on top of all that, they've got a good group of running backs led by Breon Allen, who's a long touchdown run waiting to happen. They put up 544 yards a game. That's 3rd best in the country, and they're going to give UCF a defense that statistically has been very good this year, all they can handle.
Statistically, huh? Well, you got the 3rd best offense in the country statistically. I got the 4th best defense on the UCF side. So I think it's going to be an interesting battle. #1 in the conference on offense, #1 in the conference on defense. You're going to see Plummer making a lot of tackles all over the field tonight. The defense has been good equally in the pass game and in the run game. They've been physical. They've gotten after the quarterback. They've created turnovers. They've kept them pretty much in every single ball game. A tremendous task in front of them tonight to be able to stop the CCU offense. But they've been able to do this, create turnovers, score touchdowns all year long.
The other side of the ball for UCF in their last game against South Florida had to use Rennell Hall, a receiver by trade, at running back. But as Samantha Ponder joins us, perhaps some reinforcements on the way tonight, Sam.
Yeah, great news if you're a fan of the Knights. Tonight they return their top 2 leading rushers, Will Stanback and Dontravius Wilson, return to the lineup tonight, both dealing with shoulder injuries in that last game. Now that's huge for a number of reasons, but one, just to give Justin Holman more options at the quarterback position. I watched these guys during warm-ups, no sign of injury. Everybody seems ready to go, Reese.
Sam will keep an eye on those two. O'Leary likes to run the ball. He's got a quarterback that is maturing in Justin Holman, and here come the Knights. Their eyes set on trying to win a conference championship. Kickoff from Greenville is coming up. But just about set to kick off in the American. UCF won the toss, and they will take the football first. We'll give you an opportunity to see the rocket-armed quarterback Justin Holman from Snellville, Georgia. He'll get an opportunity, as Sam told you, with healthier running backs as George O'Leary in his 11th season as head coach of the Knights, hoping to give them back-to-back conference championships for the first time in program history. Shane Carden, the senior from Houston, Texas, makes his final appearance at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium, but if he could lead the Pirates to a victory tonight and another win in the bowl game, East Carolina would have back-to-back 10-win seasons for the first time. Warren Harvey going to kick it off. Jordan Akins, former baseball player, coming back to college in football, is deep to receive for the Knights. But it will not be Akins who gets it. It'll be Michael Easton. Easton, a linebacker by trade, who took one all the way back for a touchdown against SMU, will drive the pile across the 30-yard line. That's just Easton's 2nd kickoff return of the year. The first one went for 96, and that one carried guys for a really long way. Here's the season summary for the Knights. tough game against BYU we called on a Thursday night. An inexplicable loss to UConn. The only game that UConn won in conference play, and the only reason UCF can't win this league outright. You'll see some impact players. Rashad Perriman, the wide receiver. And when UCF is on defense, Terrence Plummer is a straight warrior. Micah Reed gets a start at running back, and Holman's going to throw it for the first time, and he overshoots Rennell Hall. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Quarterback is Justin Holman, a talented guy, but one that's been a little bit up and down at times.
He has been, but he's been a lot better in the second half of the season. He's got a lot of NFL measurables, guys. He's 6'4", he's athletic, but this guy has serious arm talent. And because of that, they'll attempt route concepts and combinations you don't see very often in college football. That's how good his arm strength is.
They'll give it on the ground. It is Reed. Reed gets up across the 40 and gets a first down.
And he's got a big-time arm, but this offensive line in the run game, George O'Leary wants to run the football. That's what he's about. He's old school. They want to line up. They want to smash you, and then let Holman play action off of it. So it always starts with the inside zone and maintaining the football and pounding it.
Stopping the run has been a strong suit of the Pirate defense. The pass has given them some problems. It's a big defensive front you'll see from East Carolina tonight. Holman pulls it down, gets across the 45, up close to the 48-yard line.
We talk about UCF's offensive line, the challenge they have facing them. They really got to watch this nose guard right here, 54.
It's not hard to miss him.
353 pounds, and he outweighs UCF center, Jason Ray, by 70 pounds. He's the point of the Pirate defense. You see him right there. This is the matchup in the middle of the field we should be watching, run game and pass game.
Complete to Hall. Hall's in East Carolina territory inside the 40. So the Knights convert on 3rd down, and the opening possession is turning into a nice drive, pickup of 16.
This is really where I think Justin Holman's been impressive in the last several weeks, guys. 3rd down. Understanding down and distance, managing drives, not always looking for the explosive player, the SportsCenter highlight top 10 play, but just making good decisions, keeping these 3rd downs manageable, and keeping this offense on the field.
All receivers to the left, Michael Reed. Starting short gain on 1st down, Williams on the stop.
One thing about this East Carolina defense, guys, their inside linebackers are active. You're looking at Zeke Bigger, number 7, Brandon Williams, 24. These guys read, react, they find the football, they attack the football, and they take it to the ground.
Bigger is wearing number 7 tonight. Lamar Ivy usually wears that number. Strong safety, a senior who's not able to play because of a wrist injury, so Zeke traded in the 44 for the 7. One of the leading tacklers in the country. Rennell Hall still on his feet. Dancing around. He had to go through a ton of Pirates and just made it back to the 25. 3rd down and long, Dave.
A great run defense. When they run the inside, they run outside. You got to set the edge. Watch the outside of this play. Right up here. Watch the edge get set right away to take away the jet sweep on the outside. He doesn't let him get outside. Great job. Great penetration in the middle. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. They do a good job of that run fix.
Knights 2 of 3 on 3rd down in this drive. Trying to convert for a 3rd time. Holman fires right on the money and just flat dropped. That was Josh Reese. It got to his pads, and it comes in there with some serious revolutions.
Josh Reese has good hands, guys.
How did that not stick to him, Jesse?
But this shows you the arm strength we talked about with Holman. Why? That is a laser. And that's all over 1-9 before he's ready for it. Now it's a tight window, but on 3rd downs, that's what you expect. And that's not on the quarterback. You've got to get that to your receiver as soon as possible. Get another pair of gloves or something. Help yourself out.
Coming out, spinning it.
Sean Moffitt from 43 yards out, and Moffitt is now 3 points away from tying the UCF record for points scored. And O'Leary applauding the opening drive, which results in a field goal, and the Knights looking for a conference title are up 3. Sean Galvin kick it off after the UCF field goal. Back to returning is Isaiah Jones. Jones is going to be stopped short of the 20. And as Carden comes out to start his final home game for East Carolina, he's quite a story. It appeared coming out of high school that he was on his way to Stephen F. Austin. Ruffin McNeil got the job here. B.J. Simmons, the former Texas Tech quarterback, had been working with Shane. Old Ruffin got a guy you might want to look at as you start to install that Texas Tech type offense, and Carden's gotten here and done a terrific job.
And he's done a heck of a job. He's not the most talented guy in the country by any stretch, but always runs the right plays, gets him in the right looks, understands where to go with the football. He's a nightmare to defend for defenses.
Carden, first pass to the outside, and it's a little too high, and it was almost intercepted. He was looking for Cam Worthy. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Now, here is Justin Hardy, who has 98 catches on the year, leads the nation at nearly 9 per game. He's had a great year, as Carden has had a great career, but Hardy, like Carden, also under-recruited. He actually signed a national letter of intent to go to Fayetteville State before he got a chance at a higher level to play at East Carolina. Carden completes the pass right over the middle to Bryce Williams, and it'll be a 3rd down coming.
And he's going to get plenty of balls thrown his way. He's so talented on the outside. You want to play man coverage on him, Carden's going to look his way, and he's going to win most of those. And FBS career leader in receptions. That's pretty amazing throughout his career.
And despite that, guys, he was left off the Bolitnikoff list. Aggravated Ruffin McNeil and gave Justin a little chip on his shoulder as Carden fires quickly underneath. And it'll be close to the 1st down. They're not exactly where they spot it. Clayton Gathers tackled Isaiah Jones almost immediately, and they will give him the 1st down.
So East Carolina picking up the tempo now. First down of the game. They're going to crank it up, try to get guys lined up. UCF now defensively has to answer and get themselves lined up.
Carden firing quickly, getting rid of it. Hardy has it again, and some good open field running to get the 1st down, Jesse.
This bend don't break defense, they oftentimes play with 2 high safeties, so it's the middle of the field where you need to attack tonight, I think, if you're East Carolina. See, you got these safeties in the back, right here, and oftentimes these guys are both playing deep. There's big holes in the middle of the field to attack if you're East Carolina.
They'll keep it on the ground and get the 1st down the easy way with Breon Allen. The numbers, David, for UCF's defense have been terrific.
It's been awesome. And I think when you start talking about the other teams that they're ranked up with, in the standings, it's not talent-based. It's just playing a good scheme, tackling in open space, and like Jesse just talked about, not giving up those huge plays with keeping those safeties back deep and being okay with you giving 5 yards a pop and getting a lot of yards.
Got a peek at Tyson Summers, the UCF defensive coordinator. From the school of O'Leary. And running backwards and hit for loss is Marquez Grayson. And UCF was all over that one as Jemias Pittman got in the backfield. There's a flag down.
Number 69 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. Results in automatic down.
A 15-yard penalty call on Thomas Niles negates the big play on defense.
I was watching this live. Yeah, it was hard to see what happened with Niles. I think it might have been something very, very late in the play, but he was kind of trailing where everything happened. You know, he hit an offensive lineman, Taylor Hudson, the center, in the back way late. I think that's why he got called for the play. Watch Niles right here, coming in on this hit, just late. Plays over, gets a big shove, and
That's just dumb.
that's the penalty.
Especially when your boy Pittman just got a tackle for a loss and put him in a bad situation, then you do something boneheaded like that.
Impacted. Justin Hardy working his way through the UCF defense and getting inside the 20, and Pirates take advantage of that short punt, and they're threatening to take the lead.
That's again an example of his cutting ability, just finding a soft spot in the zone, giving Carden a good target. They've done that a few times throughout their career.
26 times they've hooked up for touchdowns. No active duo. There's more touchdown connections than those two guys. Carden has it back into the air, and it was almost for a second as if Thomas Niles didn't think he should catch it, but he did. Plummer batted it into the air.
Yeah, this is an area of the field UCF's been really good at all season long. Watch 41, Plummer comes on a delayed blitz, not gonna get home, he bats it down, but guys, throughout the season, 41% of the time opponents have had possessions inside the red zone. That's the UCF's given up touchdowns only on 41% of the time. That's a key in being a bend don't break defense, forcing field goals, not touchdowns.
Carden complete. He's got Jimmy Williams, and Williams is inside the 10, going to be a yard or two short of the first down, third down coming.
And I think what you saw that last possession, too, is one of the things you have to do defensively against this offense. You got to get your hands up. You're not going to get to Carden all the time. He gets through the ball so fast. You better be willing to sit on the line of scrimmage sometimes, just jump up and try to tip it and make a play. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to play this kind of offense.
Different personnel group coming in for the Pirates. Marquez Grayson is in at running back. And Jimmy out in the middle and being close to the goal line. Did they give it to him? Grayson's in for a touchdown. He's got a rushing touchdown for the 4th time in his last 5 games, and the Pirates have the lead.
Nice little zone play on the inside. Get a good push by your offensive line, and Grayson just able to find a cruise through. Let's make sure he got in. Where's the football? When is that? Oh, ball comes out, it looks like.
Yeah,
and it's not across the line of scrimmage. He's already down right now.
But when does he recover?
You mean the play into the end zone?
Yeah,
by the way?
yeah.
So he
falls out now.
He fumbles, and he's on it, and it's on the plane, and he recovers it, though.
That's it.
That'll happen. George will peel the paint off every now and then if
Just a little.
things aren't going to his liking. And the extra point is blocked.
That'll make him happier.
Yeah, so 6-3. Let's see who got the big mitt up there to swat that thing the other way. Knights in search of a share of the American Championship will take every point they can get. I believe that was Thomas Niles who got it. Bounced right to UCF defender. No chance for a return. East Carolina up 3. Warren Harvey kick it off. And the kickoff, perhaps a little frustration after getting the extra point blocks. Warren just knocked that thing out of the end zone. UCF will get it on the 25. So,
Wow, break it.
got to break tendency sometimes. The Stanback breaks into the secondary. He gets inside the 30. Williams Stanback finally dragged down by Dietrich Allen.
George has been watching tape too, buddy.
Great play call by Charlie Taft, no doubt. Little outside zone read, running behind a wide receiver that's got a block on the perimeter. Keep the defense on their heels. Love the play call.
He actually made a good block too. Look at Akins get the block, Jess.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Kind of getting his way.
He's a receiver. That's
good.
It's a stock block.
That's why it's the right
240 pounds.
It's the right run to call then.
23-yard run. Now they'll give it on the jet sweep to Hall. Hall trying to bounce to the outside. Slips a couple of tackles and picks up about 2.
Well, this is something they always do. They'll get Rennell Hall jet sweeps, reverses. They line him up in the backfield against USF and gave him handoffs because he's dynamic. He's very hard to tackle, so they have to find creative ways to get number 6 touches.
So he got his first touchdown against USF of the season. He had 2 in the Fiesta Bowl victory against Baylor last year, so he found the end zone quite as often as you would anticipate, but he's healthier now, missed 3 games with injury this year. Holman sacked. Fred Presley in there. Thank you very much.
And there hasn't been much pressure. No pass rush this whole game for ECU. It's a great job. Somebody winning a one-on-one battle, what you need to do. You're going to see it right here. Watch him do a great job of getting upfield, coming right inside, splitting 2 defenders, and making the play.
So now a big 3rd down for Justin Holman. You don't want to force it. This is 3rd and long. If it's not there, check it down, give your field goal kicker a chance.
They'll run the screen, stand back, splits defenders, and stand back down close to the 20. That will make the field goal much more manageable.
And that's why it's good to have him back. He's so physical. I mean, we saw him last year. Remember, he made SportsCenter top 10 by running people over. And he's fast and physical. When you get him in the open field like that, it's hard to bring him down with an arm tackle. That should have been a 1-yard gain. He does a great job turning that into a 10-yard game and making this field goal more manageable.
Moffitt has been near automatic inside the 40, hitting 8 out of 9 this season. He's already made one from 42. This one is going to be from 38 yards out. Take on the way. Scraped a little bit of that gold paint off the right upright, but he got it through there, and after the missed extra point by East Carolina, we're tied.
With a little kiss.
Yes.
Hashtag members bounce. As the visitor. Lots of lift underneath that kick.
That's hard to do, man.
No doubt. I'll tell you what, with the missed extra point earlier by East Carolina, now tie game.
Let's see something. Pollock actually made one of those long field goals. What, from like 32, Pollock? Is that what it was?
From 40.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Isaiah Jones out there on the stop. They choose not to, so we played one at Dowdy Ficklin in Greenville, North Carolina, all tied at 6 for UCF. It's been a couple of field goals. East Carolina touchdown and a missed extra point. Second quarter coming in the American.
UCF and ECU all tied up at 6 here from Greenville. Now we know UCF has a lot to play for tonight, trying to get a share of the conference title. But I noticed on this sideline, maybe a little extra motivated. Guys communicating a lot more. And that's because something is missing, Reese. There are no benches on this sideline. I've never seen anything quite like it. I don't know if it was strategic or they just left them at home. But there aren't enough seats for everybody, and now everybody's got to get up and communicate with each other.
Well, Sam, as East Carolina completes the pass, I had no idea that a road football game was BYOB. Bring your own bench.
Yeah.
Apparently neither did George O'Leary. He's been in the business a long time. I'm assuming that wasn't his mistake.
There's a catch by Devon Grayson. As East Carolina moves it out to its own 44. There are a few benches over here on our side, on the East Carolina sideline. Another quick completion, and a slip tackle, and Cam Worthy's racing down the sideline, and finally hauled out by Clayton Gathers. There is a flag now.
I'll tell you what, we're seeing more of the same. Short passes, broken tackles, receivers making plays in the open field. UCF's going to have to start
Pass
tackling these guys.
interference. Number 7 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
An offensive pass interference called on Isaiah Jones.
Well, Isaiah Jones is a guy, you can't really understand why, but he's going to run downfield till you see him outside.
Can't block before the catch, that's the problem.
Exactly it. It wasn't a design pick play. He just ran into the cornerback, made contact. That's a good call by this officiating crew.
He just has to wait till the ball gets to the receiver first before he can make contact.
Timing just a hair off, but the intention was good from Jones. It does negate a 31-yard gain. Here's Carden, fires it, and it's intercepted. Terrence Plummer has it. Off the deflection. Plummer inside the 30. Plummer inside the 20 before he's finally caught from behind by Justin Hardy. And UCF gets it right back.
You do not see this very often. Justin Hardy dropping a pass. We talked about a lot of the work he does over the middle of the field. Here's a slow developing play action to the outside on the fake handoff. Carden gets a chance to get through his progression, wants to go deep, it's not there. Oh, it was tipped. It was deflected by number 38, Ozer Wrights on the outside. But Terrence Plummer with really good ball skills at the middle linebacker position.
And he's always making tackles. He's always right in the middle of everything, making a big play for this defense. We've seen a couple of big plays by this D. 2 straight turnovers on back-to-back possessions.
Consecutive plays for Shane Carden of East Carolina, consecutive turnovers. This one resulting in UCF having it on the 16 of the Pirates and stand back, finding nowhere to go.
Yeah, this offensive line, they have their hands full dealing with this big physical front from East Carolina. And they've had their hands full all year, guys. They've had no consistency. 9 different starting lineups throughout the season because of injuries and other issues. And it's affected their continuity with respect to run blocking, pass protection. Right now that they're in a battle, and they've got to do a better job getting push up front.
Stand back up 1, and this is one after getting 2 straight turnovers. You want to turn this into a touchdown. They had to kick a couple of field goals and missed one. Holman fires, complete. Still on his feet is Reese. He had a drop earlier, and he'll be a couple of yards short of the first down.
And this is their 4th possession inside the 30. So they got to start cashing in down here and not kicking field goals. They've done a great job statistically moving the football. Missed a field goal. Otherwise, they'd be sitting pretty, but they got to punch this in for 7 right here. Another 3rd and short. They just had one that got stuffed on their last possession.
They'll keep it on the ground. Stand back will get it down to the 5, and it's a 1st and goal for UCF.
Good strong running by William Stanback inside. And They've got 4 big physical running backs they like to use throughout the course of the game. We talked about the inconsistencies they've had up front. It's important these guys find the hidden yardage.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4-yard gains and just get what they can get.
They've also had inconsistencies at running back. Guys dinged up too, so they're trying to find that guy to ride to that workhorse.
It's ECU back to first and goal, back to Stanback, reaching for the goal line, and he scores. Touchdown, UCF.
There's a great example of Stanback in that power running. He's got Zeke Bigger, number 7, draped all over, just kind of drags him into the end zone. Watch this, he gets wrapped up behind. He's able to kind of extend that football across the plane before his knee touches. That's a tackle that Bigger needs to make before the end zone.
Replay group watches every play. Moffitt puts through the extra point. They didn't stop it. They felt Stanback got in, so Stanback pays off the interception by Terrence Plummer. And the Golden Knights, after being forced into field goal attempts 3 times, finally get one in. I think the elbow was down, but the ball, a pebble of the ball. Pollock heading into the end zone.
And the kick, the extra point.
And Plummer celebrates. Oh, what a glorious sight that is at B's Barbecue, a Greenville landmark since the late 70s. Just 2 choices on the menu, pork or chicken. They cook 6 pigs a day, and when that is gone, it's gone. But that's it. But you got there in time today.
I did. You know, I got in line early, waited my turn, and it was key. The key about North Carolina barbecue is the vinegar-based sauce. They put some chilies in there. It really gives that pulled pork its kick, its edge. It was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
Reese, we had the similar experience for lunch, didn't we?
It was not quite the esoteric experience that Palmer had. David and I opted for the burrito bowls at a very popular chain.
Every week, automatic. I know where you guys are for lunch every Thursday.
The vinegar-based sauce sometimes, Scotty, will get you all confused. I like the vinegar-based sauce. I like something a little thicker, a little heartier most of the time. Well, heartier effort on offense from East Carolina is what they like. Consecutive turnovers on the previous 2 plays, but a quick completion from Shane Carden out to Devon Grayson.
So it's important East Carolina gets their mojo back and their rhythm back because of what you just mentioned. 2 straight turnovers now. One on a fumble by Carden. The second one he tries to force into traffic, gets picked. So easy completions now, try to get this rhythm going.
And it hadn't even been that either. It's also penalties left and right by this. Remember that offensive pass interference backed him up, and then the pick a play later, hands to the face on defense. Defensive roughing the passer. A lot of self-inflicted wounds by ECU early.
Already 6 penalties for 62 yards, approaching their season average, which hasn't been great to begin with. To the incomplete pass, Pirates need a yard to stay on the field, and they're not going to get it. Thomas Niles was in the backfield. Demetrius Anderson helped him out. And there was nowhere to run for Marquez Grayson.
Yeah, it's the point of attack where they get beat, and it's exactly what you said, Reese. It's Thomas Niles here, down right in here. Just on the outside, just crashing. Nobody blocks him.
Well, I mean, you're running the zone read.
You got to keep it if you're a quarterback then. I mean, if that's the guy you're reading and he's crashing in.
You got to pull that. No respect for Carden's wheels. We've already seen him run it once and he fumbled. I'd make him run it all day. I'd take the dive too. Make sure he takes away the good running back.
Josh Reese catching it on the run with some room. Reese across 45, he got face mask. There's going to be another penalty.
Wow.
It's going to be a big one.
The first problem with this play, Reese, is that the punt was a line drive, and the coverage unit didn't have enough time to get downfield and cover it properly.
During the return, personal foul, grasping the face mask. Number 1 of the kicking team, 50-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, there's a smattering of boos, but I have no idea why. That was an obvious face mask.
And Pratt was showing his buddy he was grabbing his shoulder. No. He grabbed his head. He was looking through his ear hole, buddy.
So starting this drive inside the 40 of East Carolina. Weston Holman fires complete. Rennell Hall. Another flag. They might get him for another face mask.
I mean, Zeke Bigger and a bunch of guys are, he's looking around.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Number 7 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic penalty.
I mean, we see refs get, flag happy, but there's nothing to defend. I mean, This is happening over and over. That's a face mask.
Yeah.
You got to call it. I mean,
no doubt.
None of these penalties we're looking at, we're going, that's a bad call. These are all great calls by the refs.
So what about the fundamentals, though, of coming in for a tackle on the open field and trying to avoid that?
Stop tackling the head. That'd be a great start. I mean, go lower your shoulder and wrap up, and don't get your hands around the head.
Back to the ground. Stand back is tackled without the aid of using a face mask by Fred Presley. Nine penalties for almost 100 yards, and we're not yet halfway through the second quarter. Not what Ruffin McNeil had in mind on senior night here at Dowdy-Ficklin, as UCF has a one-touchdown lead and threatening to get more. Stand back. Finding a little room and working his way down to the 10.
The last couple third downs we saw UCF try to move the pocket. They tried to get Justin Holman outside to his right, throwing the football. We're just going to see what Charlie Taft, their offensive play caller, has dialed up here for a critical third down.
Holman stand back, no chance. Maurice Falls was out there to knock down Stanback, and UCF will have to try another field goal.
And Holman's still developing and still growing. He's a one-read quarterback a lot of times. And he looks, it's not there. He wants to get rid of it fast. He had a guy right over the middle of the field. You want him to work through his progressions more, but he's still young and still learning. He's probably getting an earful right there.
That's his quarterback coach, Danny Barrett, just telling him, hey, you got Josh Reese on the spot route. That's your first read.
You had time.
Moffitt knocks through the 30-yarder, and he becomes UCF's all-time scoring leader. Knocking through the field goal, and it is 16-6. East Carolina's lucky it's not worse. As Isaiah Jones gets ripped there as he tries to back to the ground.
That's the key to playing bend don't break defense too. You got to make the opponent one-dimensional. And right now, UCF's done a good job up front. They're only playing with 4 down linemen. They're not blitzing a lot of guys, but Thomas Niles, Terrence Plummer, and these players in the front 7 are winning their one-on-one battles. They're keeping the run game, the short gains, and they're forcing Carden to have to throw the ball downfield, making it obvious, predictable.
Defense has done a good job tonight. A tackle around the head, although no face mask. I don't see a flag, and that's what the reaction from the crowd was as Breon Allen is dragged down.
Well, and another thing about this front four, Jesse, talking about too, this also ECU offense, they run the ball well, almost 200 yards a game. And usually make some big plays, and you see right here the tackle. That's definitely either the flowing locks that he tackled or the back of the helmet.
3rd down and 8. Carden sacked. They are dominating up front at the moment. Demetrius Anderson.
He put his guy on skates, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, one thing about East Carolina, when you watch the film, they are not a good pass blocking unit. You're going to see just right up front, number 94, Anderson. And that's just too easy. I mean, they got Breon Allen out of the backfield running a post down the middle of the field. They've got a shot at potentially a touchdown, and Carden never has a chance.
Can't block Mr. Anderson.
Another punch for East Carolina. Worth Gregory. A little more height this time as Josh Reese gets it. Makes first guy miss. Reese across the 50. There's a flag coming back, likely for an illegal block. This fella right here, as they're singing Living on a Prayer, he is a candidate for the not top 10 already.
He's going to get it right here.
He's got passion there. He's got to get in. There you go.
Poor girl next to him.
He's having a good time trying to Will the Pirates a little more positive action as Holman unleashes that big arm for Perriman, and he's got it.
This is why Brashad Perriman is going to play on Sundays. He's got a tremendous catch radius. He's got speed. He can climb up on a corner, put his foot in the ground, and get the post. And at 6'3", elevate. He actually mistimed the
Yeah,
jump.
he did. Hang time, though.
Yeah, and still able to come down with that catch in traffic.
But you see the big body just blocking the way. And Hawkins couldn't even get in the way because his body's he's so big.
But there's the key, Hawkins, number 28. That's the guy that other teams like to take shots on.
Picked up 45 on Hawkins that time. Now stand back to the ground and nothing doing. Fred Presley's had a good first half. He was in on the tackle along with Rashawn Rhodes.
I think so far in this first half, guys, offensive coordinator Charlie Taft's done a good job with the play calling. We talked about tendency breaking. You got your receiver, now a tight end Jordan Akins in the game, and you're running the football, but also play action on first down. Down in distances where the defense is expecting run, throwing it, coming up with positive plays.
Second down and 9 as we head toward the 3-minute mark. Holman, Perriman inside the 10. Perriman dragging his way down to the 1-yard line. It'll be first and goal for UCF.
And that's an advantage when you have a quarterback that can throw it as hard as Holman can, because you get the football to your player in space very early before the defense has a chance to react. And now he has a chance to make something positive happen sooner than most other receivers would, because they don't play with quarterbacks that can throw it as well.
A lot of big guys in front of Stanback, and he'll find his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Knights are trying to spoil senior night for the Pirates. About to go up 23-6 if the extra point is successful.
Well, the Knights are playing like the conference championship's on the line.
Yes, they are.
A sense of urgency.
Right behind Torian Wilson, too, their best offensive lineman, number 72.
But they've played smarter so far in this first half, and they've executed better.
Moffitt puts it through, and Perriman accounts for 68 of the 70 yards on that drive, and East Carolina finds itself down 23-6. Now, this is not unusual. This is going to be the 5th time that the Pirates have trailed at halftime this year. David referenced J.J. Wharton, who tore his ACL. Game against SMU, terrific season going for the Knights. Jones will take a knee in the end zone. Little reverse. UCF just eats it up. Jimmy Williams. Miles Pace making his second play on this series of downs.
Yeah, that was a great job with his eyes, just kind of recognizing the fast flow and playing his assignment. And now all of a sudden, that 2-minute clock, you talked about that Pace being an ally. Tackle play in the backfield like that, East Carolina looks like they're giving up here at the end of the half.
They got the first down at least. Milk some clock.
Yeah, kept the Knights from getting the ball back at least. Carden, more pressure, lost it down the middle of the field. Hardy's there, and he makes the catch. So now they've got a chance to heave it to the end zone. Carden's saying clock it, but they could use a timeout here. They might want to save it to see if they can get a field goal attempt off as Carden spikes the ball. Only took 2 seconds after the 30-yard pickup.
I thought that was going to be picked. I mean, he threw it off his back foot, just kind of floated it over the middle, but right between the safeties, they let a lot of clock run off there. Now they get the conversion. I think they wanted to milk the clock, but then they make a big play. Still got 1 timeout. Got to get at least in field goal range now.
We'll see how they play it. The career long for Warren Harvey, the field goal kicker, is a 54-yarder. Carden. Now firing over the middle. It's complete and down to the 20, and use a quick timeout. They need to stop the clock with 3 seconds to go in the half. And from here, it'll be a 37-yard field goal attempt at Harvey's numbers. He needs 3 points for a school record.
And we've seen momentum swings. I mean, you get going a little bit once you get those juices flowing and good things start happening. Sometimes it's hard to slow them down. Remember, a lot of self-inflicted wounds too with penalties, and all they gotta do is clean some of those up and get some breaks their way, and they could be right back in at no time.
Makes this field goal, and Harvey becomes East Carolina's scoring leader. 37 yards out, and it is perfect. A little positive momentum going to the halftime break for the Pirates. UCF with a chance to get a share of the American. Memphis is in the clubhouse already, claiming a share of the American championship. Cincinnati can also join them with a victory, and UCF 30 minutes away from another conference title, but East Carolina hopes to spoil that in the second half. AT&T brings us inside the headset as we head down the field with Samantha Ponder.
Coach, obviously a big change in momentum there, but not the start any coach hopes for you tonight. What in your mind was the reason for the penalties?
Well, we've been great, really, Samantha, all for the last 3 weeks. A little excited, maybe overzealous, but we've done a good job past 2 weeks on the penalties, really cut down.
We talked about this week how emotional this could be for your quarterback. Some uncharacteristic turnovers. What's your assessment of what he's been able to do tonight?
Yeah, you know, I knew it was going to be an emotional day for him, and I didn't try to suppress the emotion. I'm not. We'll go in here and figure it out and settle down. Sometimes, you know, I use the term try too hard a little bit, but we got to learn to play next play. We got plenty of time left, and I'm looking forward to the second half.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
Ruffin McNeil, an East Carolina alum, going in to try to get his team straightened out. UCF with a 23-9 lead at the break. Time now to join Mark May, Brian Greasy, and Scott Van Pelt for the Jaguar halftime Thursday night in the American. And this is the American Conference on ESPN. Just about set to start the second half from Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, Greenville, North Carolina, where UCF leads ECU 23-9. The Knights looking for a share of the American crown, and they kept ECU from running it at all, known as a passing team, but the Pirates had a pretty good rushing attack room, and East Carolina will get the ball to start the second half. Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, Samantha Ponder, and our entire Thursday night crew. Glad to have you with us in our final Thursday night of the regular season. Conference championship at stake for the men in white as they try to go back-to-back for the first time in program history in terms of winning conference championship. Second half is underway. Isaiah Jones. Jones looking for some running room, and he finds some and gets up across the 30-yard line, and that is where Shane Carden and the Pirates will put it into play after a good return from the sophomore receiver from Austin, Texas. So UCF took advantage of a lot of East Carolina mistakes in that first half. What do you want to see from the Pirates with this first offensive possession?
I think quarterback Shane Carden, guys, is going to have to continue having success throwing downfield under duress. That's something he did in the end in that 2-minute situation. We saw a lot of quick passes early. He's going to have to be good working the pocket with guys in his face.
How about some help? I mean, the rushing game, they got -1 yards rushing at the half.
Shovel pass to try to negate some of that pass rush, and Breon Allen gets up to about the original line of scrimmage and maybe one more before he's stopped by Brandon Alexander.
Breon Allen is very explosive, so if you're not having success handing it off to him, get creative, find a shovel pass up front. In that play, you see the offensive line, Gerald Mamea got pancaked right up front. It's the first time we've seen East Carolina win up front like that.
Allen stuck his foot in the ground, got a cut, and gets into UCF territory just across the 50.
And just like Reese said, the most important thing is it slows down the pass rush. The pass rush has been getting home on Carden, making him feel very uncomfortable. Slow that puppy down by running those screens, running those draws, those shovel passes. Defensive linemen have to think about it for a second before they go as the quarterback.
Yeah, at least the Pirates are into positive numbers running the ball now. A couple of carries from Allen on third down. Sacked again. More pressure from the defensive front and getting up there. I'll tell you what, Mamea didn't get pancaked that time. He just pancaked Carden instead.
And UCF doesn't like to blitz very often. We talked about them being a bend, don't break defense, and they're going to kind of bring action this way. And here's the matchup right over the ball. The center one-on-one. He just splits the double team, gets into the backfield. It has to be better than that. Carden's been really good all year. You've got Justin Hardy and some playmakers outside, but if you can't get Mamea blocked better than that, then you've got no shot getting back in this game.
East Carolina will punt it away. We saw UCF earlier this season. Coaches were just talking about the natural strength from Gerald Mamea, the fifth-year senior from American Samoa, and he made a big play, and Knights will have the ball back. takeoff. Justin gets across the 40. A couple of yards short of the first down.
And the one thing that I'm very curious to see, and I don't think it's outside the realm if the committee sticks to what they've been doing, what if Baylor jumps Florida State? Because if Florida State struggles again with Georgia Tech, I'm not saying it should happen, and I don't think it should, but the committee's done it now. They've jumped Alabama over them. They've jumped Oregon over them with the one loss. Now Baylor, ends up being a conference champion. Looks good. TCU's already ahead of them. Do they move both those teams ahead of FSU?
Stand back, gets across the 45. I think that there is next to zero chance of that happening. Jeff Long said on the College Football Playoff Top 25 show that, look, they don't guarantee and they don't project, but said they felt, I think the word he used, they felt secure with Florida State's resume. The question I'd ask him was, is this the floor for Florida State? And he certainly wouldn't commit to that. I can't envision a scenario in which the Seminoles win the ACC championship and are somehow jumped over and left out of the top.
Could not.
They shouldn't be. That doesn't mean they won't be. I don't think TCU should be ahead of them.
I agree with that. I think you can make a case based on strength of record, strength of schedule, and so forth for Oregon or Alabama ahead of them. I think it's much harder to make the case for TCU.
Yeah.
Right now, Justin Holman's dealing. As we're talking about the college football playoff.
Yeah, he's completed 9 in a row.
He's like Bud. Take a look at me right now, spinning the bean.
And stand back with a nifty move in the backfield. Picks up the first down.
I think the more success UCF has throwing, especially on early downs, kind of softening up this East Carolina defense. All of a sudden, we're seeing less players in the box, and it's easier to run. We talked about this offensive line needing to be physical, needing to wear guys down like Big 54 Terry Williams. Williams Standback's been doing a good job tonight running north-south.
Play action. Holman complete. Perriman on the grab.
And Justin Holman, this is really good play action. Watch his body language as he turns around to hand this up. He ducks the head, really selling that play fake, trying to get linebackers to suck up. And again, success throwing on first down. There he looks for his big play receiver, Brashad Perriman. Not a perfect throw, but a nice job by 11 coming back and making the catch.
Holman gets down to the 20. It'll be third down and long.
Was that a design quarterback draw?
I couldn't tell at first.
It looked like he just said,
Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
Not there. Number one, not there. Bye-bye.
But see, again, he's been more decisive in the second half of the season, and that's helped keep third downs in manageable situations. Now, here's a situation now. Got to be smart with your decision-making. Third and long, can't take a sack, can't take yourself out of field goal range.
I'd look for 11 if I were him. Looking the other way, finds Rennell Hall underneath. He'll be stopped short of the first down at about the 14-yard line. Fourth down and about 3.
It's just a smart decision by him, though. And, and you can sit back there in the pocket for 8 seconds trying to find the home run and risk bad things happening. Take the completion, take the profit. You're not going to get the first down, but you're making life a lot easier on Sean Moffitt, your kicker.
Oh, Moffitt will attempt a field goal from 31 yards out. He's 3 out of 4 tonight. Moffitt right down the middle, and the lead is stretched back to 17 and 3 possessions. Halfway through the third quarter almost, UCF's up. Here at East Carolina, they house the recovered shipwrecked items from Blackbeard, the pirates' last known ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge. It sank off the North Carolina coast in 1718. Recovered more than 300,000 artifacts, perfect for a school that flies the Jolly Roger, and at the start of the fourth quarter will raise the no quarter flag. I believe that is Petey, the pirate. 26-9, UCF has the lead on the Pirates. Short line drive kickoff, fielded by the upback. Turned out to about the 35-yard line.
Side.
Carden ran right into the pressure, and it was Miles Pace that has him.
And all night long, I think UCF's done a good job taking away Shane Carden's first read. How many times have we seen Carden have to clutch the ball and try and reset? He wants to work to his right over here outside. It's not there. UCF playing in a big zone. He's got to reset. And there's Miles Pace just doing a good job staying home, keeping contained, and getting the sack. I think that's now the third for this UCF defense.
Headed toward the fourth quarter, UCF trying to get a share of the American Championship. Starting the fourth quarter at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, Greenville, North Carolina. Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, and Samantha Ponder, and our entire Thursday night crew. Glad to have you with us. Carolina hoping for a fourth quarter rally. Shane Carden across the middle, complete on a 2nd down and 20. Justin Hardy made the catch.
Tempo has to go way up for East Carolina. They've got to play as fast as they've played all game here in the fourth quarter now. Trying to get as many snaps as they can in. They can get back in this game.
This is a 3rd down play, by the way, 3rd down and 5. Carden throwing. Terrific grab by Hardy. That's the kind of form you expect to see from a guy who has more catches than anybody else in FBS history.
Talks about the wide receivers. We're going to have to start helping him out. Making the tough catches. It's about as tough as it gets right there.
So 1st down on that play. East Carolina had a field goal right before halftime. They mustered nothing in the 3rd quarter. Defensive line dominance from the Knights.
This is the quarter that East Carolina really shines in. All year long, they've outscored their opponents by 73 points in this quarter. It's 2nd best in the country. So, this is where, the execution level just has to go way up. And what really helps that is the tempo.
Breon Allen in the backfield has been particularly good at home in the 4th quarter, outscoring opponents 34-3. And they'll need a big 4th quarter here to pull this one out of the fire. Carden buys a little more time, buys a little bit more, gets away from Thomas Niles. Now he's directing traffic. Carden staying in bounds, got all kinds of time, and he completes it to Isaiah Jones, and Jones is inside the 40. What a play by Carden to keep it alive.
There's been pressure in his face all night. Hadn't been able to set his feet that time. He bought his own time, scrambling around. But look, nobody open at the beginning. He's trying to find a guy. Scrambles around. And how about this? How about the poise right here? He's not running, he's just chilling. Yeah. Okay.
Good job on the scramble drill by receivers, too. So the 1st down after the big play from Carden and Jones. And now Carden throws it down the middle low. They're going down to get it. It was Grayson, but there is a flag down. Let's see what the call is.
Hold it. Number 38 of the defense. Penalties decline. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Well, this is a tremendous route, an interesting route concept by East Carolina. On the outside, they're going to clear the middle of the field with this route here. And you're going to see here a double move. He stops and then comes in the middle, the center, where everything's wide open.
Consecutive 22-yard gains, and now Carden is throwing to the end zone and going up and scoring is Cam Worthy. Touchdown, East Carolina.
Shane Carden, we've talked about. This is what we see from this ECU offense. Look at him. Decisive, puts his foot in the ground and throw it up. Let Cam Worley, your 6'3" receiver, go up and make plays. And these receivers have done this all year long. That's not a surprise. Surprise it's taken this long for it to happen in this game.
Cam Worthy is their deep threat. He's been their best in the 2nd half of the season. They just haven't had time to get these throws thrown downfield.
10-play, 90-yard scoring drive as Carden goes over 300 yards for the night. His 26th touchdown pass. And gives Cam Worthy a chance to make a play, and he proves more than worthy, and the Pirates trying to hang around. Cam Worthy making a touchdown grab for East Carolina, and we've had a season full of 4th quarter finishes on Thursday night, and maybe Shane Carden's going to deliver another type finish. He was 7 for 7 for 96 yards and the 15-yard touchdown pass on that last scoring drive for East Carolina. And the Pirates have closed to within 10. Now what answer do the Knights and Justin Holman have? Things at stake. It's senior night for East Carolina. They have to win this in their bowl game to have a 10-win season. It will be the first time in program history they had consecutive 10-win seasons. The Knights are hoping for back-to-back conference championships. Jordan Akins, after the bobble, picks it up. There is a flag down, a couple of them, in fact. Now UCF is backed up. They'll start this drive at their own 6-yard line. To the outside, a little breathing room out across the 10.
I think it's critical UCF is able to run the football. We talked about the challenge the offensive line had, having to be physical against a bigger front from East Carolina. UCF's averaged 5.5 yards a carry tonight, but in this game now, up 10, momentum back on East Carolina's side. Deep in your own end, you have to be able to run the ball and milk the clock and get that guy, big 54, Terry Williams, blocked.
Stand back, tripped up, short of the first down. Big third down coming for UCF. But the momentum could swing to East Carolina if they could get a 3-and-out here.
Defense hadn't been great all night, but you got to find something, some kind of momentum. Change it to go back your way. I think Terry Williams on the inside. That last play got double teamed. They got a 3rd and short. They got to commit some guys. This Central Florida going to throw the football too. That's what you got to watch out for too.
They will. Holman batted down, a 3-and-out. Zeke Bigger got the mitts on it and swatted it away, and a lot of time to go here, and a lot of fans have left.
It was a great job by Bigger. The fans have left, but this game ain't over, Reese.
And no doubt about it.
Watch him come right here from the right side, and watch him stop, set up shop, and realize that the ball's coming out fast. This UCF offense is a quick passing game offense. A lot of times, Holman's getting the ball out of his hands. Great job by Bigger.
Caleb Houston. It's off with a good punt. It's going to drive Hardy to the 40. Has a little room. Knights through a couple of defenders. And ECU will start in UCF territory after the good return from the star receiver, Justin Hardy, a 45-yard punt, a 14-yard return. And East Carolina has a chance to get it back to a one-possession game.
You see the defense is starting to feel it, starting to get some confidence there on the sideline. The other thing, guys, not only is East Carolina executed better on offense, but as a team, they're playing smarter. Remember they had 9 penalties in the first half? Only 2 here in the second half so far. They've gotten out of their own way.
Rush yardage hurt by the sack totals, and oh, that was almost intercepted by Jacoby Glenn. It would have been his second. Pick off a deflection tonight, and he let it slip through his hands. Has 7 interceptions on the year.
Well, this is a quick throw from Carden here in the backfield. He's trying to go, just work outside. He gets his feet set. That throw is high. That should have been intercepted. That should have been the 8th pick for Jacoby Glenn this season.
East Carolina, can Carden now take advantage of getting away with a throw? Right back to work. Down the middle. It's complete. Looking for running room and then just deciding to get the first down is Hardy.
Just another great example, fighting back to the football. At the top of the route, watch him put his foot in the ground, come right back now. That's really, really good.
Hardy over 100 yards receiving tonight. Carden has a little running room. He'll pick up what he can and then step out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Good smart play by the East Carolina quarterback.
And this is great for ECU's offense because now they're starting to play their game. This is the tempo game that they want to play with everybody. Do a great job of wearing folks out. Now when their defense gets stops, now they can put some offense together. So UCF doesn't play a lot of guys on that defensive front. Now you can wear them out a little bit.
Carden quarterback draw. Carden has the first down. He's inside the 20, and Shane Carden's inside the 15. 1st and 10 for the Pirates.
It's a great play call. They got everybody to vacate the center of the field with routes. You're going to see a running back go out this way. It takes the linebacker out that way. There's no one in the middle of the field to tackle a quarterback hard.
And how about the coaches coming back to him? He carried the ball one time on a quarterback draw in the first half. He coughed it up and fumbled it. And called it again.
Now throw it to the end zone, wide open man. It's a touchdown for East Carolina. Marquez Grayson.
Tremendous play call by offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley. They're going to fake the wide receiver screen outside. Take a look up top, and that's our guy, Justin Hardy. The entire defense bites on the FBS all-time career receptions leader. And running back Marquez Grayson able to sneak out on the wheel, and East Carolina, just like that, right back in the game.
Warren Harvey puts through the extra point. And in 2 minutes, 43 seconds, the Pirates bring up 2 touchdowns. And it wasn't long ago that UCF was threatening to put this game out of reach. Missed field goal, 2 touchdowns, and we got a finish in Greenville. A decidedly different feel on the 2 sidelines. Everything was going along swimmingly for UCF for a while, but now all of a sudden, that defense has been rattled, and Tyson Summers is looking for answers. And over on the East Carolina side, a lot of energy. Scored 2 touchdowns in under 3 minutes and gotten right back in it. And a lot of people on a chilly night here in Greenville bailed out. But if East Carolina comes back and win this game, every one of them that were here, they'll say they stayed to the bitter end. Kickoff coming after the most recent touchdown. See if the Pirates can get another stop. Aikens driven into his end zone, and he'll take a knee. Holman to the outside. He's got Hall out there. Did he make the catch before he got out of bounds? He did. Calling it a catch and a first down for O'Leary's team.
And there's the example of the
Change up
touch by Justin Holman. Remember, he had this throw, the exact same throw earlier, tried to throw a line drive, didn't get it. Is it a catch? He's got possession. He gets both feet down. That would have been good on Sundays. But there's a great throw by the quarterback, Holman. Take a look at it again. Right foot down, left foot down.
Great job.
And a huge first down conversion for UCF.
Get 18 on 3rd and 11, and boy, did the Knights need it. Now stand back. He hasn't found any quarter from this Pirate defense in the last couple of possessions. Brandon Williams on the tackle.
They needed it to rest their defense, get their heads back straight. A lot of times when that offense, these offenses you see all the time, you see, we talked about Baylor and TCU earlier, 2 of those offenses, they get in a rhythm. They're hard to stop. Sometimes you go make them sit on the sidelines for a little while, you get them out of that rhythm.
Certainly been in the rhythm the last couple of times they've had it. Jet sweep. Hall, good cut. Hall across the 45, and there he goes. Oh, and he fumbled the football. On the ground, who's going to come out with it? Bigger has it. ECU recovers the fumble after Dietrich Allen knocked it away. You want to talk about sideline enthusiasm? Now they're going nuts down here.
That's just tremendous pursuit and effort by East Carolina's defense. And we talked how they needed a turnover, something they'd been really, really good at in their last 3 games, and they finally get one here. This play looked like it was destined to be an explosive play for UCF.
Allen reaches around, punches the ball out. The safety number 4, watch him club it right there.
Hall almost looked as if something went wrong with his legs or something.
Just got tired.
Cramped up or got tired of what happened. But
heck of an effort by him.
Yeah, it was a great run prior to the fumble. And what a time for just the 3rd fumble recovery of the season for East Carolina. Underneath, little tunnel screen, and slipping and falling is Hardy before Plummer would get there to make the tackle.
Plummer was right there again. He sees things so well, man. Right in the middle of the defense. He read the screen all the way, takes great pursuit angles. He's a tackling machine. I think if you're UCF, you're happy. 4th-ranked defense in the country. You're liking your chances right now. Got to get another stop.
Carden gets pressure, gets rid of it. Plummer on the tackle of Breon Allen. A very short game. 3rd down and about 7 coming.
The problem is, because it's 3rd and long, do you have the time? because this pressure, as you just mentioned, getting after Shane Carden, you know, you move the pocket, he's going to have to do a good job here buying time and finding a throw. He's been so much better at that in the second half.
Third down and 12. They go with the quarterback draw. Carden going for the first down, and Shane Carden picks it up. How about the senior?
In critical junctures all year long, red zone and third down is when they've tried to dial up the quarterback runs. Shane Carden's been very good at that here in the second half as well.
Needed 12, got 13. Fresh set of downs. Here's Carden throwing it up. Got a man open. It's complete. It's Allen, and he's out of bounds after picking up a first down.
We talked about Justin Holman all night, throwing his heater and not using a lot of touch. That was touch right there by Carden. Barely gets it over the defender. Drops it right in there, scrambling for his life again with the pressure in his face.
But they had a defensive end trying to cover the running back out of the backfield, so good decision by Carden.
Allen slips a couple of tackles and gets down to the 30, pickup of about 5.
You hold your breath every time Allen has the ball. He is explosive, and he's little. He's only 5'8", 190 pounds. He hides behind these tall linemen. They're like trees. When he sees a hole, he just puts his foot in the ground, explodes, tremendous speed. There's playmakers all over the field for these Pirates.
And Barry Sanders was Breon's favorite player growing up. He's a little of that footwork, like his running back idol did. Jacoby Glenn on the stop against Cam Worthy.
It's a good group. It's not just Justin Hardy. They've got guys all over the field, outside, good with the football in their hands after the catch. It's a great matchup now against a very experienced UCF secondary. 144 combined starts in the back end of UCF's defense. Very rarely these guys out of position. They can tackle. That's why they don't give up a lot of explosive plays, but this is probably as good a group of wide receivers top to bottom as they've seen all season long. It's been a good battle all game.
The third down and 1.
That's a quarterback run game.
There and run the quarterback again here. I'll let Carden throw it instead. Carden over the middle. That's complete. You know who? Justin Hardy with a grab. First and 10 for the Pirates.
And Carden showed great patience that time. Thought maybe he'd run it, but he's dancing around back there in the pocket. How about the protection? And then finds number 2 over the middle, who's been money here in the fourth quarter. Throw it anywhere near him. Usually he sticks it.
Slowing down the tempo now, getting the right substitution on the field, understanding field goal ties it, but they'd love to go ahead, get the TD, take the lead.
Carden pulled it out, throw to the end zone, touchdown East Carolina, the Pirates have the lead. Justin Hardy.
He is so good over the middle of the field, and it doesn't matter if he lines up in the slot or it doesn't matter if they isolate him on the backside of the formation. This is where he does his damage. He's coming from the right side. It's a slow developing play action, trying to freeze the linebackers, stretch them, and create a window. Here's Hardy outside, patient, puts his foot in the ground, wants the ball. Jumps up in the air, senior night for these two guys. Special career, now they take the lead.
An all-time leader in catches in FBS history. Extra point is good. That means UCF needs a touchdown. His final game at Downey-Ficklin Stadium, and Justin Hardy has a dozen catches, 140 yards, and the go-ahead touchdown with 2:17 to go. 21 straight for East Carolina as they've taken the lead on UCF. Welcome to ESPN College Football Prime Time, presented by Jimmy John's. And in the fourth quarter, East Carolina has scored freaky fast. Shane Carden putting up nearly 400 yards tonight. He's completed 16 of his last 17. The revenge of Redbeard, if you will, for the Pirate quarterback. And Carden leads all active quarterbacks in college football. Game-winning fourth quarter drives. Will this be number 8? That'll be up to the Pirate defense. No quarter has been offered by Ruffin McNeil's team in the fourth quarter, but now UCF, its championship hopes on the line, and boy, could they use a good return from Jordan Akins. It will not be Akins. Instead, it will be Easton, and Akins convinces him to take a knee. East Carolina seemed lifeless almost through 3 quarters. Now they're alive, and they're chasing Holman, and they hit him as he throws, and it'll be 2nd and 15.
There was a tremendous pass rush coming from the interior of East Carolina's defensive line. There's a spin move from the defensive tackle just on this side here. You see that? Just getting...
Rose.
Yeah, Krishan Rose. We've seen them dominate at the point. They're able to get a hit on the arm.
How do you think that feels getting hit by Terry Williams right there at the end, too?
Probably not very good.
Been hit by some big dudes. He lands on top, you're going to feel that with a 360.
Terry's taking a break. Holman back to work. Now the pressure's all over him, and Holman's wrapped up. 2nd straight time they have falls back there.
Interior of the defensive line again.
Brett Presley also.
It's going to come right here. Just too much juice getting into the backfield. That time it's Presley. This entire defensive line for East Carolina, they are, as David Pollock would say,
and the big swamp monsters, they call him in the middle, Terry Williams.
It was a key matchup, 353 pounds, stopping the run, getting pushed, being physical, and even if it's not him showing up making the tackles, he's making a lot of the plays.
He has. He's made the ball go the other way and cut back to his defenders, but there's one thing consistent about him is he hasn't been blocked. Whether it's 2 guys, 1 guy, whether it's been his physicalness at the point of attack or his quickness getting around folks. He hasn't made life easy on that offensive line.
Talk about this being senior night for 19 different guys for East Carolina. We've seen a big game already from Shane Carden and Justin Hardy. Let's not forget Terry Williams, also the last time he's playing here at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium.
Good protection. Holman almost intercepted. UCF will have 1 more chance. Brandon Williams could have all but put the game away.
That's the 2nd time East Carolina has not been able to handle the velocity of what otherwise would have been an easy interception. And Holman here is just staring it down over the middle of the field. You've got a defender, Brandon Williams, who's got very good ball skills as an inside linebacker. Drop the pass, and of course you got to go for it now. Working to the middle of the field and trying to find a spot. Here he is down here.
Need 20 yards. Holman hit as he throws. He had a man for a second but couldn't connect, and East Carolina gets the stop. Fred Presley was back there applying the heat, and it looks as if Shane Carden is going to go out a winner in his final game at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium.
And we talked about pressure again. Justin Holman wants to step up and make this throw over the middle, but watch the effort. Running over the center and diving in, hitting him in the leg so he couldn't make a big play. And Carden says, I've been taking some hits all night. Thank you, defense.
And you've got to give East Carolina credit, guys. There was so much to play for tonight. It's senior night, 19 different seniors, but a chance to beat the defending conference champion and also keep their hopes alive for their first ever back-to-back 10-win seasons. For Ruffin McNeil and this senior class and this football team, a tremendous showing here tonight.
And you're able to keep UCF from celebrating on your field for getting a share of the title. As Ruffin McNeil now 90 seconds away from victory. We haven't talked about it a lot tonight with the focus on UCF trying to get a share of the title. What about the job Memphis has done to already get in the clubhouse? And Justin Fuentes has done a great job there. They already have a share of the title.
He's got to be up for some jobs, for the job he's done at Memphis. I mean, you talk about the edge they play with. I remember watching them play Ole Miss early in the season. You're like, wow. I mean, defensively, offensively turning it around. I mean, Justin Fuentes has done a heck of a job.
9-3 team. And that is exactly what East Carolina's record is going to be. So 1 minute 2 seconds to go. UCF is now out of timeouts. We'll see how much time they can run off with this particular play. See if they'll have to snap it on 4th down. We'll take a pretty long play to do it, and they'll try to get that with Carden running around, trying to buy time. He'll, of course, stay in bounds. And the clock will continue to wind, and There's going to be about 15 seconds left. Difference between the play clock and the game clock. And fourth down's coming.
Fourth down and 19 for the final.
I think we're going to see Shane run around a little bit more. East Carolina has one timeout left. So they just let the play clock run out and take the penalty if they use that timeout with the second to go on the play clock. And 16 seconds will remain. A 4th and 19. The yardage is negligible. They're sending the offense back out onto the field.
That's why I would have, I mean, personally, I would have ran it on third down. I wouldn't have done that little scramble Olay thing, whatever they did.
I think what you do here, if you're East Carolina, you scramble around as long as you can, throw the ball up in the air as high as you can into the end zone and try and take as much time off the
And
clock.
out the back of the end zone, too. Carden, they're trying to get to him. Shane better be careful. Make sure he doesn't fumble the ball. Now see you've lost 10 yards.
Yeah.
You'll be 65 yards from the end zone.
And Justin Holman can reach that. I mean, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they would have been, maybe they were afraid of Carden getting hit as he tried to throw it.
Well, East Carolina's had a tremendous pass rush the last couple of snaps. So a big question now for UCF, can Holman even have the time to get this play up? But he's very, very athletic. You got to be anticipating Hail Mary here if you're East Carolina. So defensive ends need to cut the edge off for Holman. But you got some big receivers outside, Perriman being one of them at 6'3". The defense, you got to get outside or keep him in the pocket.
Holman firing to the outside, trying to get Reese. Wow. He caught it, got out of bounds. 5 seconds to go, and now you got a legitimate shot at the end zone.
And that's perfect. That's exactly what you want. Take that little route, because as a defense, you want to make sure you stay deep and don't give up home run. And you got out of bounds. So that's
with no timeouts in your pocket.
Now defensive ends, like you just talked about, they got to rush up the field. You can't let them scramble around outside the pocket.
So they're pressing the receivers up here.
Holman has time to unload it. He fires it high, he fires it deep. Perriman's out there, and he caught it for the touchdown! He caught it for the touchdown! UCF wins it! Rashad Perriman, 51 yards.
Wow.
And that's the ball game.
What a finish for UCF to give them a share of the American title. I wrote him off, you wrote him off, and a miracle to finish the regular season for UCF.
How many Hail Marys have we seen over and over in college football? Guys in position to make plays.
Block management, I think, for East Carolina late was very, very poor. And you've got to give UCF credit. They executed that two-play end-of-game scenario better than anybody could have. Now, look, does a great job buying the time. He puts that thing up to the moon, and he allows his receivers to get underneath it, and it's completely outplayed. Just a bad job by the secondary of East Carolina, mistiming the jumps. You cannot let a receiver get in behind you, especially a guy that's 6'3", that's made as many big plays as Perriman has.
Look at Pratt, number one, come off the goal line. Why would you come off the goal line? Stay on the goal line. Even if he catches that on the one, you hit him, you got to jump up and bat that thing down.
So, UCF, share of the conference championship, back-to-back seasons. That is a nightmare scenario.
What do
UCF, what do you think about that?
Joined now by George O'Leary, who's down on the field. He'll be with us in just a second. Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollock there. George, tell me what you were thinking when you got the ball back 65 yards away from the end zone with 10 seconds to go.
I told him we had two plays, victory 7 and victory. That's what we practiced, and that's the best we've run both of them since I've been coaching.
Obviously, a great win for your program. Describe what you saw as Justin Holman fired that ball 55, 60 yards into the air. Let's see, we're watching it now. He threw it about 60, high into the sky. What were you thinking?
I was thinking that was going to be a knockdown ball by their secondary. I think they misplaced it, underneath it and stuff there from what my angle was. And Perriman kept running, it fell right in the hand. So it was a great play by him. And great throw, and geez, a heck of an ending, really was.
Coach, big picture, you win a share of the conference championship. It's the first time in school history. You've now done that back-to-back seasons. What did tonight win mean for your program?
Well, I just think we have a bunch of great kids. I'm happy for them. They went out and did what they had to get done in a tough situation. And conference championships are tough to get. They really are. And this group got 2 in a row now, and I'm very proud of them, the school, and I guess I get in and wish them all well when I get in and see them. But I tell you, it's just the culture of the program. They're going to fight you to the end, and that's what they did tonight.
George, congratulations on the championship and on a great victory here tonight in Greenville.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And George O'Leary, the head coach at UCF. What a way to finish our Thursday night season. Big thanks to our entire crew. They're the best in the business. Our final score, UCF beats East Carolina 32-30. SportsCenter's coming down.